That's not on.
What's on?
Anyway, yes, we have a lot of stuff. I keep adding. I keep saying.
Yeah, if you want him to come hang out and help you out, you probably wouldn't have all this stuff. This is my dad. No,
I have a very simple.
overboard.
I do have a green screen setup, but I feel like sometimes we lose episodes because like the audio is not right, or the framing isn't right. I just need somebody to come in and walk my producers through an episode.
I think because you come from television, you like want more.
No, I'll tell you
It's
what.
it's like overproduced.
This is overproduced?
It's like so much stuff. Unnecessary stuff. Didn't you say Shane Gillis had like one camera on a tripod?
Yeah.
Did you do his?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got, it looks like a Radio Shack camera.
In the basement of a seedy comedy club.
No, I did it in a house in Austin.
Oh, I did it in Austin, but it was downstairs in a comedy club.
Oh, it's probably better lighting there.
No, it was horrible. No, it was backstage. It wasn't even on the stage.
Was it at the mothership?
No, no, around the corner.
Oh, the other guys, Red Bands, or
something rabbit or something.
Yeah.
Does my shirt clash with the chair?
Oh.
No,
Pardon me?
well, yeah, kind of, because it like almost.
Do you want to change
matches.
chairs?
That was so Jewish. Ugh.
Who said
I
that?
said, does it clash? And you went, ugh.
I did that?
Yeah.
I am Jewish.
It's almost
I
like
didn't
an
realize.
lie. Yeah, I know you're Jewish.
I know.
You know,
I know, but no, I know that I'm Jewish, but I
Yeah.
didn't know that I'd make the Jew sounds.
you can't. It's in the DNA.
You come off very Jewy.
Oh, I wasn't trying. I'm not trying to mask it.
I know. I'm just saying.
You know, it's not good for our people to say that, Jackie.
To say you come off Jewy.
Well, it doesn't seem like a compliment. He just said that's very Jewish, which could be, oh, that's very beautiful. But
Yeah.
you saying Jewy, that comes off Jewy, it seems negative.
Yeah.
It's however you take it. It could be a positive.
No, nobody has ever said, oh, I love this, but I wish it was more Jewy.
Yeah.
No, right?
Well, they do say Jew it up.
Juicy? Oh, Jew it
They
up.
say Jew it up sometimes.
To you?
Never say Jew them down, but you can say Jew it up a little bit.
What
Yeah.
does that even mean?
Like, make it more like this. Have, 17-foot screens behind you and so much lighting that I literally should have on sunscreen. Put so many cameras that I literally can't see you because there's cables. I mean, it's like, what are we doing this for?
You should see me trying to get into my seat now, too, because of how much.
Yeah.
You know where
Crap.
I'm over here. So this is like, and this would be considered Jewy?
You
It's a-
Jewed it up.
It's like, so what you're saying is I got a sale on audiovisual equipment.
Yeah.
Did you get all this stuff for free?
Yeah.
You did?
Buy one, get 7 free.
Yeah. Crazy Eddie is your cousin. His prices are insane.
So there are too many cameras. But why, Alex? Yeah, I know you're off mic. He's going to be mad at me that I'm talking to him. Whenever.
Are you going to ask him why we have so much stuff?
No, but what did I say? What's the reason for that? We didn't even start
He
yet.
close the door on you.
I know he gets mad at me because I
Oh,
can I
because
get
of the mic.
can I get a 2-shot of that?
It's old school.
He's
Do
like
you want me to
only
turn the lights
focused-
off?
No, look at the jacket I wore. I got a shirt that matches the chair. Oy. Oy vey.
We're talking to Craig Fitzsimmons. I'm going to start. Can I start the podcast?
Yeah, but when you do, just a minor adjustment, it's Greg Fitzsimmons.
Greg Fitzsimmons.
You said Craig.
Did I say Craig?
You said Craig. Why is this not all on the podcast? This is gold.
It will be.
All right.
We don't edit. I just told. And you think it's gold that I mispronounced my guest name?
Yes. I mean, you're one of the most accomplished broadcasters in America today.
Apparently not.
Well, can't accomplish everything.
Do people say that a lot?
Craig?
Yeah.
Yesterday I did, who was I on yesterday? And they said Greg Fitzgibbons.
Oh, that Jane Goodall.
Yeah, right. And we were squatted.
Who's Jane Goodall?
She's the monkey lady.
Yeah.
Monkey lady.
That's what I thought. Why does that have anything to do with his name?
Gibbons. Fitzgibbons.
They're not monkeys.
What?
Chimps aren't monkeys.
What are gibbons?
Well, but
Irish
that's not Jane
people?
Goodall.
Hmm?
Jane Goodall is chimps.
Chimps aren't monkeys? Considered monkeys?
No.
Why? Did we start yet?
We want to start.
Okay.
Tell me when I can.
Yeah, let's do it.
Greg.
Yeah.
Greg.
1 G at the end. You're saying it with 2 G's at the end.
No, I have a 7 at the end, but I thought the 7 was silent.
That's my rap name, Greg 7.
I have a band.
No, you don't.
I do. Well,
What?
if you're gonna have 9 cameras, why not have a live
I
band?
did see musicians out there, and it seemed absurd. I didn't know if in Howie Mandel's weird little microverse that like you just have a band that sits in your studio.
I like to score my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a movie, but the band, like,
You do score your life. You went out there to go to the bathroom and they played a song about you going to the bathroom.
my poop song.
That's hilarious. All day long, everything he does has a separate song to it.
It is true.
A lot of tube on the bathroom song.
Sonny and the Black Pack is the name of the band. That's Sonny.
Yeah.
And they'll play when I tell them to start. We'll
Okay.
start the podcast. You can tell them because you're the guest.
Anytime.
Go ahead.
Kick it.
Get your groove on right now. Watching Howie Mandel, Greg Fitzsimmons, Irish king. Every day he's smiling through the trials and the tribulations, making comedy a revelations. Fits of laughter is medicine. Conversations so genuine, getting rambunctious and rowdy. Up here with Fitzdog, Jackelyn, and Howie. Does stuff.
Welcome to Howie Mandel Does Stuff. I'm Howie Mandel.
I'm Jackelyn Shultz, his daughter.
Jackelyn Shultz.
And Greg Fitzsimmons is in the house. And that's Sonny and the Black Pack on music.
On music.
I don't know.
Sonny and the Black Pack, ironically missing any black members. I really, when you said the name, I looked up at the screen expecting to see, the Four Seasons, or Sly and the Family Stone.
Right?
And instead, Latino guy with a very large head.
No.
What is he?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
You
do
don't-
know.
I don't see
He's not a Latino guy with a large head. I don't know which one you're talking about. Sonny?
the singer.
Sonny?
Oh,
Sonny?
no, I'm not Latino.
Well, good news. You look Latino.
What are you? Go
What
ahead.
are you?
What's your second guess?
Are we going to play this game?
Are you Asian?
Does that help?
There we go. Yep, you're
Just
Asian.
took off his glasses if you're listening.
You are Polynesian.
Polynesian? No.
No.
Is that even a thing? Is that like
I
calling
think
an
it is.
That's your
Asian
second
person
guess, then?
Oriental?
Polynesian would like Hawaii or Tahiti?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
The Polynesian.
The Polynesian Islands? No.
I love what we do is we should cut
this
to
is a really bad game.
we should cut to a commercial now, and then when we come back, we're gonna guess everybody's
I
Race
love
and
it.
ethnicity.
Love it.
ethnicity.
Yeah.
And that's what we should do. Guess my ethnicity.
Three
you
and
said-
me.
You started like before that I was a Jew. Like you're good at identifying.
Well, I think
he has
because
to
I'm-
make a sound. Make a sound, Sonny, so he can guess what your ethnicity is based on your sound.
Like, for real?
No, not anything. What? What are you doing?
Why, you think I'm doing something that's wrong?
I mean, the problem is, again, I'm behind like a 6,000 watt lamp. I can't even see the screen.
That's what the problem is.
Oh, that's the
It's
problem.
like doing a podcast in someone's attic. There's just stuff everywhere.
I'm a hoarder of audio-visual equipment.
What did you say,
What'd you
Sonny?
say, Sonny?
สวัสดีครับคุณ Greg Fitzsimmons ครับ
So he's speaking his native language.
I am สวัสดีครับคุณสบายดีเปล่าครับ
Oh, Filipino.
No, not at all.
No, that's so off.
It's not off at all.
It's very off.
Really?
Yeah, it's no.
Do you speak Filipino?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yes.
I speak Filipino.
Say something in Filipino.
Salamat.
Salama.
Well,
You just copied Sonny.
I didn't say repeat
I
something
don't.
in Filipino. You're lying, aren't you?
Yes. I know. Maybe are you from the Australian area?
He looks Australian to you?
No.
Aboriginal?
Yeah, I was thinking like the largest Aboriginal of all time.
He's from San Francisco.
Wait.
What?
It's getting more and more politically incorrect.
You want to keep going with this, Dad? You sure that this is what you want to keep going
I
with?
think it's going well.
Okay.
It is. It's like a really politically incorrect game show.
Here's the great thing about, is it Sunny?
Yes.
Here's the great thing about Sunny is that Sunny can go anywhere. He can go to Spanish Harlem. He can go to South Central. He can go to Koreatown. Like, he will never be rejected because he looks like everything. If somebody doesn't like him, it's him. Like, he'll know it's him personally.
That's so fucking great. That is great. He's a mutt. He looks like a mutt.
Yeah.
Yes. No, he's Thai.
No, he's not. I said Asian and there was no response.
Oh, I didn't hear you say Asian.
Oh,
He
okay.
said-
That's pretty
All right.
obvious, though.
He's a deaf Thai man.
You're deaf Thai.
What?
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 As opposed to a loud Thai man?
No, it's like, you know how Stevie Wonder's blind?
Yeah.
He's deaf. And
Stevie
yet he's
Wonder
Really?
isn't actually blind.
That's bullshit. He didn't
He's
drive.
not actually blind.
Stevie Wonder's not blind?
No. Have you never, like when stuff falls, he goes and grabs it before
What?
it hits the ground? There's so many videos of like a mic falling and he goes and like catches it.
That's daredevil
Really?
instinct. That's
What?
A superpower. That's daredevil instinct. It's a superpower.
I don't believe that.
Go find one of those videos. I've seen
I
so
believe
many.
you, but I think it's a superpower. I don't think that means he
Anyway.
he's got vision.
Alex,
All right.
aren't you friends with his daughter?
Yeah, he's blind.
Yes.
And he's blind?
Yeah, he went out on a blind date with his daughter. When you go on a blind date with Stevie Wonder's daughter, it just means he comes.
Wait, what?
Hopefully he doesn't come.
What?
Oh, would that be weird if you were out with a girl and then her father comes all over you, Alex? Well, it's a blind date. He doesn't know.
You have no idea.
Yeah,
And
no.
it gets in your eyes, so you're blind.
Money shot! I'm with my kids. This is just... You have an amazing special right now.
Thank you
You're
so
incredibly
much.
funny. You Know Me, it's called, and it's available to the world on YouTube, which I think is the smartest thing. I know you were discussing it before. I'm over, and maybe I shouldn't say it, maybe this gets, but all the other streamers and places that it can be, just kind of, I don't think people are going to, join a club just to go see a great special.
Right.
And I think great specials need to be out there to be seen, to be discovered, and then to tell people and inform people where they should buy tickets to go see you live.
Exactly right.
So, we had Ari Shafir here who did an amazing special called Jew.
Ari Shafir has been like my Yoda. He literally, like, we're pretty good friends.
Right.
But he called me when he found out I was doing
Wait,
a
you say you're a
special.
good friend. Have you smelled his belly button?
Oh, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Continue.
And he called me and he ran me down how to shoot it. And then once it came out, how to the frame sizing and the thumbnails and how to write the thing, how to do a donations tab. And then he would call me twice a day for the first 2 weeks that it was out and say, you have to change this, you have to do that. And he's the greatest friend. He's so supportive and amazing.
Well, we love him. We've had him here a couple of times, and I think he's really funny. And I loved his special. But I love your special. I loved your special.
I'm touched. Thank you.
Well, no, that's not me. I'm not a touchy guy. But you've always been incredibly funny. I also think that, and don't take this the wrong way, but I think that you're one of the most underrated greats of our industry.
Wow, that is really nice to hear. Thank you, Howie.
No, it's really funny, and I think that people know it's because you've done so many different things and been on so many kinds of shows, and a lot of what you've done that's been great has been behind the scenes. I know you wrote on a lot of things,
Yeah.
but you deserve to be out front, and hopefully everybody sees it. So it's called You Know Me on YouTube. We're going to have a link to it here. But it's really funny. And the choices that you made, like number one, he shot at the Mothership, which is Joe Rogan's club in Austin.
Yeah.
And I had been there. Was there a reason why you chose that?
I actually shot it somewhere else first, and I was editing
Why are you
it.
laughing?
Nothing. I just love nothing. Go on.
Because
And
That
think
you
I-
have information that is incorrect information.
Do I have
No,
incorrect?
no. He's right. I shot it somewhere else first, and then I was editing it, and I realized a couple of the cameras, the settings were off, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't put it out like that, and so I scrapped the whole thing, ate all the money, and then started. And then I told this to Rogan, and he goes, "What are you doing, man?" He goes, "Come do it at my club." I was the second person to ever do a special there. And it's set up to shoot. It's like it's lit beautifully. The backdrop, I didn't have to dress the stage. It was done. And also the crowds in Austin are just, you can't, we were talking earlier about the line that you don't want to necessarily always cross it in comedy. You cross it a little bit, but you want to be right on it. And there's no line. In Austin, the audience just keeps waving. You're like, no, you're not there yet.
But comedy shouldn't be. That line needs to be crossed.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's not funny.
Right.
Then it's just a statement.
Right.
If it's funny, you cross the line, and it's a little bit dangerous. And I found that when I played at the Mothership and it went down to Austin, it reminded me. You got here. Did you get here in the early 90s?
99.
90 or late 90s.
Yeah.
You want to make fun of me getting my information wrong again?
No, I'm done.
You're done? She's not here to talk to you. She's just here to criticize me. Okay, but...
Daughters do.
And you do a good job. What I was going to say was I got here in the late 70s. And in the late 70s, there was an electricity around the Comedy Store and the Improv about, people would just line up forever just to see comedy and just to see, I've talked about this ad nauseum, but Richard Pryor put together Live on the Sunset Strip, but there was an electricity in the room. Not until I went to Austin and stood on that stage, that audience is, like you're saying, it's like you feel like here in California or any other place, you can say something. If you do cross that line, you're going to know it right there.
Yeah, and I like the line. Like I go on the road, and I'm more of a liberal, and then I'll go down south. Like I just played in Houston as well. And you think, all right, I'm going to the South. Which joke should I not do? And then I stop myself and I go, no, don't be a pussy. Like if you believe in those jokes, the jokes should be good enough that you can do them anywhere, and they're gonna work, even if somebody doesn't agree with you. And if they don't, fantastic. What's better than someone crossing their arms and shaking their head and maybe walking a few people? I love walking a few people, not the room, but a couple people a weekend. That makes me feel like I'm doing my job.
A lot of people used to say, if I could just make one person laugh, I'm doing my job. But
if you can make one person mad.
just lose one person. If I could just make one person or two leave, oh my God. Yeah. But that is true, because I believe then you don't have a sense of humor if you're not, you don't have to get it. But I think that it's, I've said this also ad nauseum. It's got to be wrong. It's got to be, the reason it's funny is because it's wrong. The reason you wrote it and the reason you're saying it, I saw you on the special you did, you and I don't want to give anything away here, but you had, I loved your bumper sticker about abortion.
Oh yeah.
But you even said, and I don't know if that's something that you planned on saying, but you did this bit, and then you said, I don't know if I'm going to leave this in the special. But you left that in the special saying, I don't know if that's going to make the special.
No, I didn't plan it at all.
Okay, so that's the point is, and that made it even, when we do AGT and we're doing it live, if somebody like falls or if it doesn't go right, that makes it more live and more exciting. Yeah, right. And I thought that was what was great about your special. Not only is it funny, not only is it like at moments you go, oh, that's like, it's just fun and dangerous in the world now. Not that there's any danger in comedy, but there is. I think cancel culture is kind of over.
I think there's almost a reverse effect. I think that you see people like, Shane Gillis, who was canceled when he was going on SNL because of some comments that he made on a podcast like 10 years before.
Right.
And he came back, and now the guy is playing arenas,
Right.
And you had Tony Hinchcliffe, who was canceled for something he said on a podcast, and now he sold out 2 shows at Madison Square Garden back to back. And so I think there is an element of the comedy audience that is celebrating people not playing by the rules. And I think they're bored with network TV. I think a lot of the stuff they're seeing, late night spots on TV, a lot of times feel overproduced and sanitized. And I think that they like to feel, and I think it can get a little worn out. Like if you spend a lot of time in Austin and you watch the lineups, everybody has to come on and there's like 2 or 3 buzzwords they all have to hit. And you kind of go like, hey guys, like you're not offending anybody. The crowd is in on it. So you're not making a mistake. Do those jokes in San Francisco, or say, and let me see if you have the balls to do them there. Because sometimes I feel like it's shills. Sometimes the audience feels like shills.
But that's kind of the thing. When I started in stand-up comedy, the thing was, people wanted to put together a clean TV set.
Yeah.
And then there are the people that would swear for the sake of swearing, and I don't care about language. But then, there was the comics that were doing things, and I find that even in some of the comics that I saw in Austin, they're trying to be shocking for the sake of being shocking, but it's not shocking.
Yes.
And
it's not shocking.
But it's kind of like in the 70s, if you used to say fuck in the, in lieu of a great joke or a great idea, people were trying to get, and they would get a reaction. And I feel like people are doing that now. But I feel like that door to comedy has reopened, and I became aware of it watching, Richard Pryor at the beginning, who was talking in the 70s about his drug abuse, about his relationships and sex and things that people were not talking about. It was squeaky clean, and he was crossing the line, but it was real, and you loved it, and you related to it. And I just felt like you're like this easygoing, natural, authentic comic who is truly, really funny. But it was a great audience, a great club, and just really, that's a set. How long did you work on that set before you put it?
Well, like I said, I was ready to do it before the pandemic, and I literally put it down on tape to show it to Netflix to see if they wanted to shoot it. And then the pandemic happened a month later. And then I shot it after the pandemic, and we couldn't use it. So that starts. So I was sick of this material by the time I did it. The struggle for me was actually to find some life in it, and make it feel like I was still excited about the material, which I found it because the audience was so good. I came alive, and I think the material felt fresh. But I'm so glad I got a new hour now. And I feel like this. I saw you out at the Ice House recently, and I saw you had notes in your hand, and you were like going up there to do new stuff. And it's like, as long as we've been doing it, I don't care how much money you have, I have, how big your studio is, whatever. Like, you are still a kid in the trenches who wants to go up there and see if this bit will work.
And that's the thing, like if it's an art, and it's an art form. And it's like, if you have a painting, if you paint a painting and it came out really good, you don't want to just show up and just show everybody your painting. You want to go paint your next piece of art. So I love that painting. Yeah. And there's nothing more exciting than having an idea, having a note, and going up in front of that audience and they go, you're right.
Yeah. And then they give you more joke out of it because they respond to it, and that gets your juices flowing, and now you throw another line in, and that either goes or it doesn't, but then after the show you write down that new line, and it becomes this back and forth where each side is feeding the joke until eventually you have something that you've beat out enough times that you go like it's like giving birth to a joke.
It is, and they're your babies. Let me ask you something. As a performer, was it hard for you? You worked on Ellen.
Yes.
Did you write her monologue?
Yes.
So is it hard for you to, because I've never written for anybody else, is it hard for you to come up with because you, and this is in speaking to what you just spoke, I have an idea, I'll write it down on a piece of paper, and then I love to go to the Ice House or the Comedy Store or someplace at night and see it work. If you have an idea and then you hand it to Ellen, and then that audience, is that hard?
Well, she's a lesbian. So I'm
Aren't
writing.
You? Aren't you?
A lot of similarities. I'm writing jokes for a lesbian from New Orleans who likes to talk about owls in her yard. Like, there's not a lot of spillover between what I talk about and what she talks about. I wrote monologues for Cedric the Entertainer. I wrote them for Bill Maher. I wrote them for Wanda Sykes, Jamie Foxx. And so I've always been able to write for other people. I really believe that if you can write jokes, they can work for anybody. Like, I don't think you have to be from their walk of life in order for you to write stuff that works for them. I think you just got to immerse yourself in their voice and then write jokes.
But what I'm saying is you have a funny idea, even though there may be some things that are specific to whoever you're writing for that you wouldn't use, but isn't it hard to hand that over and to hear the audience laugh? No,
it's really weird. It's like two different sports. Because when you're writing for somebody else, it's like usually like for monologues, you show up in the morning and then you pitch jokes in a meeting and then they go, all right, go write that up as a monologue. And then you've got 2 hours to just drink coffee and crank out, 4 pages of monologue jokes. And then you hand it in and you kind of exhale, and it just happens. As opposed to stand-up, I feel like are things that happen in my life, things that trigger me or make me think that, wow, this is something that is in my voice that I can grow and turn into something.
I had a talk show, and I was friends with all the writers on the show, and they used to say that the way they described what their job was their job was to shit every day without being given anything to eat.
Yeah, I like that.
Maybe that's what my act is like. Maybe that's what they thought of what they were.
Was it hard for you to have writers giving you stuff when you are such a control freak and you are known for creating your own material and your own jokes and what you think is funny? Was
that's
it
why
hard?
Maybe my talk show didn't last long. Yes. Yeah, it was hard. Because I think like when I'm watching you and when I watch this special, it's so you. Mm. It is you. I can't see like other people doing, well, they could maybe say that, but it just seems authentic to you. You're definitely a character. You're definitely, even though I pronounce your name wrong, you are the one and only. And it's, you talk about your family and you talk about your ideas. And I had a hard time. And I had a hard time when somebody gives me a joke and material, kind of telling them,
I don't, that's hard.
Because funny is subjective or good is subjective,
Yeah, and it's like, it's got to fit. And, a lot of guys are really funny or women are very funny that are writing for you and they just don't have your voice, And did you hire friends? Did that make it more difficult?
No, you became friends with them.
I became friends.
Okay, so you didn't bring like fellow comics on that.
I didn't have a really good experience.
Yeah.
I did not have a good experience doing a talk show.
Yeah.
Did you ever want to do a talk show?
I always wanted to do a talk show. That was like my dream.
Because you're really good. I did your podcast, and you're really good at interviewing.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on. And also, let me just take a moment to say this. You have always been such a supporter of mine, and you have a place in my heart because when I was coming up, I did the Montreal Comedy Festival, and they put me on the gala show, and I'd never done the gala. And if people don't know, it's a big theater, and the show starts, I think they do like 2 or 3 in a night. So the first one starts at like 4 PM. And it's a lot of old people.
Yeah.
And they're Canadian. It's not an ideal room for me. And so I went up. It was like a 3-hour show. And I went up after John Mendoza, who's a killer. And he's perfect for that crowd. He's a bit older. He, talk about having a voice. So he goes up and destroys. And then I go up. And you could hear, as Zach Galifianakis once described it, you could hear a cricket riding a tumbleweed. It was brutal. And I'm up there and I'm looking at all these people and I'm wearing a suit and there's a million cameras and this goes out internationally. They play this thing all over the world. And I die and I bomb. And you're hosting the show and you came up and you saw what happened and you said to the audience, you guys, you can do better than this. I know you can do better than this. And you whispered in my ear, do you have another set? And I said, yeah. And so you brought me off stage, went back on, reintroduced me. I went up. I made fun of Deal or No Deal.
Yeah.
And then I did a set that went, I'm not saying I killed, but it was a usable set. And, do you even remember that?
I do. And the thing about that is I have always thought that you were really funny. And then sometimes we, and especially comedians more than any other art form, are put in bad positions.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's kind of like, when I was coming up, there wasn't even a lot of comedy clubs. So I was playing like discos and strip clubs and things. They'd stop the music. And now we have this.
Right. No stage, no
Really
spotlights.
Jewy guy who's going to come on and complain. But so what I'm saying is, as you said, at 4 in the afternoon, after 9 comics and they're tired and it's not the audience that is going to pay for the night. But here's what I tell people. When you're doing television, because I go up to comics all the time and say, you should do AGT, you should do America's Got Talent. And they go, well, I don't want to put myself in that position of being judged. But millions of people are going to watch you at home, and they don't listen to the response. They don't hear, and there's enough. If you have a room of 3,000 and it sounds terrible to you that 300 people are laughing, on TV, you still have 300 people laughing. And at home, you have millions of people who are watching you, now know your name, now know your act. And the fact that you're on television, they're going to pay extra and more people are going to come out to those clubs. So you're only going to heighten. You got to, but I feel for us because we were treated, so in the 90s, Carson was already finished when you came out here.
Yes.
But Carson was the litmus test for us, right?
Yeah.
But I always felt like he didn't respect comics because we were the only ones that had to show up, do whatever we did, write and perform, and then maybe be invited to sit down. Which I thought was horrible. Right. Rather than a third-rate actor from a sitcom who never wrote a word in his life is just doing what he's told to do.
It's like asking a girl out and then you go to her house and you have to stand on the front stoop and wait for like 10 minutes to see if she'll invite you in, or you just have to go away.
So when you were dating,
I feel like I'm back at the gala in Montreal 12 years ago. Except this time he threw me under the bus. He saved me last time. What happened to you, Howie?
No, I want to set that scene. So when you were dating, you've been married a long time.
Yeah, 25 years this month.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is she in the business?
She's not. She's a doula. She's a postnatal doula, so she helps some women with their babies.
Wait, postnatal? Isn't a doula help somebody
give
birth?
There's prenatal, and then there's women that come in. She's like a lactation expert, and she helps with sleeping and, setting up the house properly. She doesn't, she just comes in for a few weeks and kind of gets you going.
Teaches you how to nurse and stuff like that.
Right.
I used to love to get up at the crack of dawn and milk my wife. We had a like that pump that was for you. So when just a thought, and that was very funny, but you say goodnight and you want to wait and see whether she's going to invite you in. She goes in and you're standing there for another 10 minutes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's really uncomfortable.
Yeah. The other memory I have of you that I want to bring up.
I'm just making an uncomfortable moment.
Yeah.
I like awkwardness.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the other memory?
When I came to New York, I started out in Boston.
Right.
I went to college in Boston, and I was doing stand-up while I was in college. And so after about maybe 5 years, I started coming down to, more than that, 4 years, I started coming down to New York, and I'd sleep on couches, and I'd try to break into the clubs. And Kevin Meany was a dear friend. We grew up in the same town. He knew my father, and he became a mentor to me when I was
Your father was in television, right?
He was in radio. Yeah.
He was a host?
In New York. He was a broadcaster on WNEW in New York for 20 years.
Wow.
And so he got Kevin on stage at Catch. My father was friends with the owner of Catch a Rising Star.
Rick Newman?
Yeah. And so Kevin was a waiter at this golf course that my dad belonged to. And Kevin would come over, and he had all these bits that he would do for the table. He'd announce the desserts, and he'd go, cheesecake boats are coming, and then he'd do a dance. Like, it was insane. That's why he wore the dinner jacket and the bow tie, because he started as a waiter.
I didn't know.
Yes, and so my father got him on stage his first time, and then years later he goes, you got to look up. Remember that funny waiter Kevin from Knollwood? And I said, yeah, of course. And he goes, well, he's a big comedian now. And so I saw his HBO special. I saw him on Carson. I saw Carson put his head on the desk during Kevin's set and pound his fist and wipe his eyes. It was like, I'd never seen anyone crush on the Tonight Show like that before. And so I went to Catch a Rising Star in Boston, and he was there. He hadn't seen me since I was about 10 years old. Crowd files out. I hang out. Kevin walks over. He looks at me and he goes, Fitzsimmons. And I was like, oh my God, how did that? And so he found out I'd been doing stand-up, and he started bringing me on the road with him, and we just hung out, and we ended up becoming like really close friends over the years. So he tells me to come down to Catch a Rising Star one night to audition for Louis Ferranda. At that point, Rick owned the club, but I think Louis Ferranda was booking it.
Ran it, yeah.
So I'm waiting to go on, and they're like, all right, you're next. And then in breezes you. And I'm like, uh-oh. And you go up, and I just remember one of your jokes. You asked, a girl said she was from Alabama, and you said, are you tired from having the banjo on your knee? Or something like that. And I just remember.
Brilliant.
It was brilliant. Yeah. And so I went up, and I don't want this podcast to be all about my bombs, but I did not pass the audition. The only laughter I heard was Kevin Meany, who was in the back dying that I was doing so badly.
Sometimes it's funnier to do bad, though.
Yes, of course. I love bombing now.
Me too.
It just you know what it does? It brings you back down to your baseline. It reminds you of why you work hard, because it doesn't hurt any less.
I was just looking at a tape. I think we have it here. There was a comic on stage doing your crowd work is actually really good too in the special.
Thank you.
Check that out. But we were going to talk about stand-up. Have you seen this little clip? I don't know who is it. What's his name? This comic was on stage, and he tried to do crowd work, and it just went really south for him. Watch this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the world is finally back.
No. Yeah.
It's always a negative person. It'll never be the same.
Let's talk about after
not
COVID.
Bad. What's missing? Everything. Like what? Come on, that's too. You gotta give me specific. What is something that you had before COVID? You don't have it right now. And he's like, yo, come on.
Family.
Wait.
They all died.
I'm sorry for your loss. My fault.
Okay.
You know what?
He doesn't really recover, but it's just.
What would you have said?
I would say go fuck yourself. You don't bring up that.
Right.
I would get angry.
Yeah.
I had a moment like that.
She could have said, like, going to the gym. There's so many options that changed after COVID.
She said everybody died. What would you have said?
Sometimes I go deep, and the audience expects you to back off, and I step into it.
That's what I do.
And I start asking, how did they go? But you do it in a way, like, be sincere, be caring. Think about stand-up stages. There's no definition of what has to happen on that stage. There's not one emotion that can happen. Like, we just had an awkward moment. Like, that's great. We talked about things going wrong. And when somebody gives you something like that, and you can look them in the eye and say, I'm sorry, tell me what happened. You're going to build up so much tension that when you find something funny in there that's not making fun of her, there's going to be an explosion.
There is. I've had somebody yelled out at one point. They go, Howie, I go, what? They were yelling out to me, and they go, I was just diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
Just out of the blue, they yelled
out of the
that
blue.
Out?
They just yelled that out, and they were. And I go, are you serious? And I look over, and they're not well looking.
Yeah.
And I think that authenticity and realness sometimes wins that tension. I go, like, I don't know what to say to you, and I said that, and I go, and what in your mind, what was going on where you thought, what would be perfect right now for this show? You know what would bring this show to another level? If I could just make everybody aware that I've got a month to live and I'm dying of cancer. I mean, because it's just too, and I started going, I don't remember where it ended up, but I kept the audience. But that discomfort is what's exciting.
Yeah.
And I think that and that's what I noticed in your special, you've got this looseness and this kind of self-assuredness, and because you've been doing it so long and it's good, and maybe because you use the terminology, I was so sick of this material, but you knew the material. It's not only being sick of it, you knew where the laughs were. You're comfortable. Yeah. That's an amazing safety net, that when something happened in the audience, you could just go there and know I could just fall back into my act. But those moments were great too.
Yeah.
Does that come with experience, or were you always that comfortable when you started comedy that you can just go with the flow?
Well, I started out doing improv in college, which helped a lot. So I learned how to be present and not stress out that there's not a laugh right now, and just stay in the pocket and just let it play out. And so I think that helped me a lot when I started doing stand-up. I always did a fair amount of crowd work. And also my father, we talked about my father. He was not a stand-up comic, but he used to MC benefits, charity events all the time. He'd put on his tuxedo, and I would go with him down to Yonkers to the local Best Buddies event or whatever. And he had a piece of paper, and he had some street jokes. He had some stuff about his life, but mostly he messed with the people in the crowd. And I watched that, and I was like, I kind of went into the family business. I kind of was like, wow.
Was that your first, did you say, I want to do what my dad does?
I never thought that, because I never thought I could do this for a living. I always looked at stand-up comedy. I was obsessed. When I was a kid, I had every comedy album. I watched The Tonight Show every night. I watched SNL. I just was comedy was everything. Mad Magazine, everything that was funny. National Lampoon, I read. And so to me, it was more of following a passion without any thought. I didn't use the word career for the first 8 years that I did stand-up. I never thought about it as something I'd do for the rest of my life. If you had told me 35 years later that I would still be going to St. Louis next weekend and Austin the weekend, I would be like, that's just not physically possible.
What did you think you were going to do? What did you go to college for?
I thought I was going to write. I was going to be a writer, a novelist. So I was an English major.
Did you ever have any other jobs?
No. No, because when I started in Boston, there was a comedy boom that was going on. And so when I was a junior, I started doing stand-up. And by the time I graduated, if you had a car and you had 15 minutes of material, you could open for people all over New England. New Hampshire one night, Rhode Island the next night. And it was me, Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Dane Cook, David Cross, Mark Maron, Louis C.K., Patrice O'Neill, and we were just...
Wow.
Yeah,
quite a lineup.
Yeah, and so the crowds were crazy. They would just put a sign up. Every Chinese restaurant has a banquet room in the back,
right?
And they would these bookers would come in and they would go, "How about a comedy night on Tuesday? You get the drinks, we get the tickets." And they would set up these rooms. So 7 nights a week, there was some Chinese restaurant or a pizza place that
Are
had
you
a
sure
room.
it was a Chinese restaurant? You're not good with ethnicities.
It was Thai.
Okay.
Yeah. But they were big Thai audiences. They were, yeah. And so you got good really fast, and you started making money really fast. So by the time I graduated, I was actually making a living. I had tons of shitty jobs as a teenager. I was a caddy. I was a parking attendant. I was a cook at TGI Fridays. I cleaned houses. I washed cars. But
are you a musician? Do you play an instrument?
Little bit.
What do you play?
I played bass in a band in high school, and then I play a little guitar.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you ever play it on stage?
I did once because I used to do college shows, and you've done college shows.
Yeah.
You can show up, and they didn't promote it, and it's like that disco you were talking about. There's no stage. It's just go. And so things would go bad sometimes, and so I thought, God, if I had a guitar,
Right.
I could just play the songs and you wouldn't hear the lack of laughter because I'm playing music. And so I bought a guitar. I went to North Dakota, Minot, North Dakota, and I did a show with a guitar. And at the end, I felt like such a hack. And I'm not knocking. Some people are amazing at musical comedy, but I was doing it for the wrong reasons.
You were doing it to cover up the silence.
Yeah. And so I felt like a hack, so I never did it again.
You taught yourself how to play guitar to do that?
No. I already could play, but I had never played it while telling jokes. Yeah. And I just brought it out and I did my act and I would just strum a few chords between songs, between jokes.
Do you want a guitar? You want to hold on to the guitar now and then do
like an interview with a guitar?
If we have that kind of silence again, like we did earlier, I would. Even a harmonica would be great.
Do you play harmonica?
Yeah.
Are you good at harmonica?
No, but I can play some songs.
Sonny, do we have harmonicas?
Not here, no.
Oh, I thought you had everything here. I know what I'm sending you as a thank you gift for this show.
We get gifts?
Yep.
We'll give you gifts.
Really?
Yeah. What do you want? I'll give you underpants.
I have some.
Not as
Not
soft
to
as
put on
these.
now. Man-made underpants. Man-made underpants are made out of what size underpants are you? Don't.
Medium.
Okay, medium underpants.
Do they have a little pocket for the crotch?
Yeah.
Those are the kind of underwear I like now. A little pocket on the crotch.
A pocket to keep your wallet?
No, I'm a little bit. I'm endowed. I don't look it because I'm thin, but I'm very well endowed. So I need a little extra in the front of the.
I didn't even ask you your
Give him
cock
a small.
size. Why would you bring up your cock size in front of my daughter?
There's no
no medium here. Give me a medium on the man-made underpants. Do you want a top two? I'll give you a nice. These are really
Great.
These guys
You
make
should have
underpants.
offered him the top before we started because he was concerned that he clashed with the
He didn't clash. I like the way he dressed.
Okay.
He dressed very nicely.
Thank you.
When I said, do you want to do something else and maybe not the podcast, he said he got all dressed up for us.
What do you want to do?
No, I can't remember, but you said, look, I put on the jacket. Let's, you said.
Oh, because we were talking about doing audio only and not doing the video. Yeah.
Throw it at him. Check them out. Check those out.
These are the underwear or the t-shirt? Oh, I love that fabric.
Yeah.
See?
And they don't, I'll get you a bunch of pairs.
And look at the pouch.
Is that enough for you?
That's, yeah, look at that. That's enough.
Don't you look. Don't look. He's showing you
At
his pouch.
his pouch?
No, his eyes are up there. You just look at his eyes.
Man-made brand, 99% elastane.
Yeah.
91, what's modal? 91% modal.
I think that once you wear it, and you don't put on your pants, they're going to go, who is that supermodel? I don't know, but it's a really good fabric. It's really, I'm telling you, I'm not just saying that.
All right.
All right, you got underpants, and we have merch too.
No.
Yeah.
We did.
I love merch. That is one of the great things about show business is how much free stuff you get. I have days where I walk out of the house and I go, every article of clothing on me was sent by a sponsor because I do an ad for them, or I got it from, doing a TV show. Or
Me too. Skechers.
Oh, that's right. You're a Skechers guy.
I'm a
He's an
Skechers.
I heard
ambassador.
you walked into a Skechers shop. I saw the video, and you were just looking around, and they assumed you were a spokesman for Skechers.
I lied.
But you lied, and then they made you one, right?
And now I am.
That's hilarious.
And all I have to do is keep they want me to keep my foot up on the desk for how long? Look, there's more. Give them a lot of shit.
Oh my God, this is great.
Yes. We also have camel toe pants. Do we have the Howie Mandel Does? Are you into camel toes?
Oh yeah.
For men.
Yes.
We have them. I'll show you. We have Andre is our model.
I think it's a moose.
What are they?
Oh, is that big enough?
Oh, those are the other
Oh my
pants.
God, look at that.
Here we go. Let him play. Look.
Is it considered a camel toe or a moose knuckle for
You
guys?
tell me.
I think it's a moose
I
knuckle.
think it's a moose knuckle.
But those are our stuff. That's our new merch. And
Does he have a flower in his pants?
well, that's
too?
just so you can locate what is good. But that's Howie Mandel Does Stuff. That's the flare with the camel toe. Those are the flare pants. What were you going to say about him?
He's Thai. Did you know? You didn't even notice that.
I wasn't looking at his eyes.
Is
Yeah.
that the theme of today's show?
Was he? What are you saying, Sonny?
How did you know he was Thai?
Well, I don't know where I get it, but I have a gift for recognizing what ethnicity people are. I think you noticed it earlier.
I'm pretty sure that guy is Thai.
Is he
Really?
Thai?
I think so. I'm not positive.
Well,
but
play it one more time. Let's see if it's a tie.
It's a tie.
Is he Thai, Sonny?
I don't know. It's making my body move, so I feel like it is.
He's either Thai or Vietnamese.
Okay, you definitely know Southeast Asian. What's the deal with that? How come?
Why is he?
Why is he Southeast Asian?
Oh, how come you know Southeast Asian?
Oh,
so
he's
well?
good. He can just look at somebody and
It's
identify.
incredible. I knew how he was Jewish as soon as I sat down.
As soon as you heard,
Like, do you ever say oy vey or oy?
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
he
do.
does
I've
a
said
lot.
that. I do that.
Yeah.
Only during sex.
Oy.
When I'm alone.
You use a lot of Yiddish words.
During sex?
No, I
And what-
don't
Oh
know
my
about that.
No, that's wrong. That was wrong. But I use Yiddish words because Yiddish words have become part of the vernacular.
Well, Yiddish words are the language of comedy. Like I came up in New York, and my father was a member of the Friars Club, and
Oh,
so
wow.
the first comedy I was seeing live was Freddie Roman and Dick Capri and Alan King and
Right.
all these guys, Henny Youngman and Milton Berle. They would all do shows at the Friars Club, and they would all talk. And you know, my father was the token Irish guy at the club. Everybody was Jewish, and these guys. I mean, I just learned so much Yiddish, and it really, if French is the language of love, Yiddish is kind of the language of comedy.
Of celibacy. Oh. You can't say anything in Yiddish and get the lady.
No.
You know what I'm going to do
No.
to you? I'm going to verstink you. I want to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get you in bed and I'm going to. You can't talk dirty in
No,
Yiddish.
you can get a good deal on 46th Street,
Yeah.
but you can't.
I got a hooker for 10% off. You know what she did to me? She took my schmeckel and she. Oi.
Oi.
Oi. Is that weird? That we're talking sex in front of you?
Yes.
Are you into.
Is schmegma a Yiddish term?
Schmegma? Maybe it is.
It sounds like it,
It does
right?
sound like
Smegma,
it.
and it's not Yiddish.
I think it might be Yiddish.
It's penal mayonnaise.
Ew.
Hold the mayo.
Some people do.
Yeah.
Yes. Why do you know that word?
No, I do know what it is.
Do you like dancing?
I love dancing.
Do you? You want
Yeah.
to do a dance challenge?
Yeah,
Really?
sure.
Okay, I'll
It's
show
Greek,
you.
by the way.
What?
It's Greek, by the way.
What
it
is?
is?
Yeah, I just looked it up.
Schmegma?
Yep.
Oh.
I learned it
That's
from
why I don't like Greek salads.
I learned it from Howard Stern.
Feta cheese.
Schmegma? Yeah.
Who was it? Richard didn't
Okay.
wash for a really long time and built up the schmegma.
Who are you talking about?
On Howard Stern.
Oh, Richard. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
And
this is
then,
good.
And
then Sal had to
smell it?
Smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that you two are reminiscing about a whole other show.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna challenge you to a dance-off.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you it first. Watch this.
Vamos a ver si es cierto.
Here we go.
Dice, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pero mira qué bárbaro. ¡Échale, compadre! ¡Mira qué bárbaro!
This is how you know it's a visual show.
Why? It's just two men dancing.
Yeah.
You want to take it? You accept the challenge?
Yeah.
A lot of wiggle.
Okay. Start it again.
Start it again. Oh, you're gonna do it now.
Yes.
Okay.
Are we going to hear the music?
I don't know.
No.
You didn't plan on it. Can you see us? Are we on camera?
You're,
Okay, ready? Start it.
There's no music.
No, start the video and
Oh.
we'll hear it.
Okay. Will you hear it? No, they turned off the music. There. Go.
¡Échale, compadre!
Go.
¡Mira qué bárbaro!
You guys are good. You're good at this. Almost as good as them, and I feel like they had more practice than you did. Uh-huh.
Mueve la cadera. Mueve la cadera. Mueve la cadera.
You win.
Good. Oh, are you okay, Dad? Are you
No,
okay?
I'm good. That's what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do.
He just fell. He fell off his chair. Are you okay?
I'm good.
Are you
Did I
sure?
break the screen?
No.
Definitely
Oh.
won.
Did I? I broke the screen. What are
Yeah.
you doing? I broke
No.
it.
Oh my
There's a
God.
crack
Oh, there's a
on the
crack.
bottom. But
Oh, no,
you cover
you
it.
big screen.
It's
Cover
okay.
it.
Wow.
Wow. Did I win?
You got the screen for free though, so it's okay.
Your breathing, there was not a full breath. There was this choppy, all I could hear was this, like a dog
you
when
weren't-
it's excited for a treat.
He has weird breathing.
Yeah.
What are you talking
You
about?
do always.
The
You're
fuck
always
are you talking about?
You have weird.
I don't have weird breathing.
Doesn't he breathe weird sometimes, Alex?
Yes.
Yes.
Why are you just telling me now?
Why are you so out of breath? Are you
Wow,
okay?
you're-
Well, I was in a challenge.
Yeah, but listen to my breath right now.
How old are you?
58.
I got a decade on you.
Are you 68?
You're good at math.
Damn.
Yeah.
But he says
So,
I'll be
in
I'll
10
be
years-
70 soon, next year.
In 10 years, when you challenge somebody to a dance,
Yeah.
this is what it's going to sound like.
Let me, but you seem like the kind of guy that's got a trainer and a home gym and that you do cardio and all that stuff.
He doesn't have a trainer.
No?
No.
No.
Do you do cardio?
Yeah. Can't you tell?
How much do you do? Like
What?
you sprint to the fridge?
No, I have
He
a
runs like an hour a day.
Well, I have a
No.
treadmill, but I don't do it lengthwise. I do the width of my treadmill twice. Back and forth.
This isn't good. You were trying to get a deal with what's your thing that you go on? Peloton. You were trying to get a deal. This
Oh.
is not a good representation of what Peloton can do for you.
During COVID, I used to get really high.
Yeah.
Like on gummies and smoke, and then I used to go on the Peloton, and then you can. Do you have a Peloton?
No, I've done it though.
No, the treadmill. You can.
Oh no, the
you
bike
Can,
I did.
well, I do the treadmill.
Okay.
And then I used to, and then you could look at. You could put a program in where you're supposed to be running through the streets of like Italy.
Yeah.
But I'd put it on really slow, and I would just get really high and walk through Italy. I turn off all the lights, and at night for 5 hours, I would, and my wife would be yelling, "Howie, where are you?"
He'd have a
And
bowl
I'd-
of pasta in his hand while he was walking.
And I'd yell upstairs, "Florence! I'm in Florence!" I don't
my
smoke
God.
anymore, though.
I was a pandemic smoker as well.
Yeah,
and now I don't smoke anymore.
You
it
and I
was
are
a perfect match for a worldwide shutdown. Smoking pot and streaming. It was like I was
streaming
so
too.
happy. I was
got
so
in
happy.
trouble a lot, right?
What?
I got in trouble a lot.
Was that when the prolapse came?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Well, in 10 years, I'll understand all that.
No, it's not my prolapse. It's not. That doesn't happen in 10 years.
Just leave it. Leave it.
Yeah.
No, he thinks that I had a prolapse.
Okay, so
And not only did I have a prolapse, he thinks that I shared it like I told my daughter.
streaming. You streamed it.
It was online. No, I posted a prolapse on TikTok. That picture up there.
They play that on TikTok?
They didn't play it.
No, he got like banned,
Canceled.
reported.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did?
Yeah, I got canceled.
Wow.
But like
Oh.
only for a little bit.
No, I lost some sponsors.
You lost money.
I didn't know that that's what that was.
Yeah.
I thought it was a cupcake. I just put that up and said, "This is my friend Neil. Is this COVID related?" And then my
The funniest too is that when we had Neil Brennan on, they're like, "This is the Neil." Everyone thought that was the Neil
Neil
that had the
Brennan.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, it's not as funny as him thinking I'm 68
you.
and you
I
said the
don't-
prolapse. I was live streaming. I had a prolapse.
You said it.
Anyway,
Well, it just sounded like this inside joke that only family members would really know.
why would she talk about it on a podcast?
Well, because she's willing to sell you out, I've seen
I
during
am.
this podcast.
She really is.
Yeah.
No.
No, this
and-
one isn't bad.
And now sometimes I have guests on, and because have you done H3?
What's that?
Well, I'm going to take that as a no. But Ethan Klein has a podcast. It's a big podcast, and anyway, he schooled me on what a prolapse was.
Oh,
Want to see it?
yeah.
Okay.
You got consent this time.
Watch this.
He can't take his eyes off it.
Oh my God. All right, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I don't think I've seen one of our guests watch it for that long.
You have a record.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well,
right?
I also have a hemorrhoid, and I feel like, is that my future? Is it just
It's
going to
not
grow?
Why would you share that?
It's not
That I have a
linked.
hemorrhoid?
Yeah.
Because I don't care. We talked about admitting, embarrassing things in comedy. I mean, a hemorrhoid is it's the definition of what you should talk about on stage. It's like a hidden thing you're ashamed of.
Well, you have a whole bit on it?
No, not yet, but I thought we would riff one right now.
Okay. So why do you think you got it?
What finger do you use to put your hemorrhoid cream on?
How do you know he's
Which
using
finger?
cream? How do you-
Because Kyle had one, and we were talking about which finger you're supposed to use.
I
Like
use this one.
The middle one?
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like it's the one that I use on my wife in her tender area. And so it feels like that's what it's made for.
Never mind.
So from your ass to her,
Yeah.
That's not nice.
that's not nice. That's
Your
what you.
wife.
Yeah, but I wash my hand in between.
Do you use gloves?
No gloves. I'm me. What am I going to infect me?
No, but you like. Okay, so if you have, and I don't know, I'm not endorsing Preparation H, but
Okay.
I assume that's the cream.
No, it's called Anusol.
Anusol. And if you're listening, Anusol, we need sponsors. So.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
But wait, Anusol, isn't that what you put on a toothache or a cold sore?
No,
Yeah.
that's I know what you're talking
The
about.
fact that I don't know the difference of what you put on a cold sore
I'm
or
pretty
a
sure
hemorrhoid.
it's called Anusol, but
People put that Preparation H on, you should rub it around your wife's eyes.
your eyes, yeah, it takes the wrinkles away.
It takes the wrinkles
What
away.
about your balls? Do you think it could deal with that? Because it is getting.
You could, but you're only, tain't that far from that,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
You should try it.
Yeah.
Would you ever spread
Anbesol.
Ambisol is what you put on cold
on what?
sores.
Cold sores.
Yeah.
And then
But
what is the stuff that you're using?
I think it's Anusol.
Ambusol, like
It definitely has the word anus in it. I know that.
So does anusbusol,
Anbesol.
Anbusol. But what if you get those two things mixed up?
Yeah, right. Right.
So
You know how I got it?
the hemorrhoid?
Yeah, I think I
Pushing.
got, no, just the opposite. We got
Sucking?
during the well, that would be fantastic. Oh my god. And maybe blowing would cure it.
Do you know I saw a video where you can breathe out of your ass? Go ahead. How did you get it?
So we got a bidet during the pandemic.
Ooh, look at the humble brag.
No,
humble brag.
no. It was a cold water Costco doc. Like I have used one in the past where I went to a rich friend's house. It was Tom Segura, and he had a bidet, and he's like, hey, I got this crazy nice bidet. Do you want to try it? And I was like,
Not would you like something to drink?
Hey.
You have a snack? You want some Pringles?
Well, either way, you're putting liquid in a hole in your body. And he said, I said, well, I don't really have to take a dump. And he's like, well, I didn't want you to take a dump in it. I just wanted and I was like, oh yeah, okay. So I go in and I sit down, I take a dump. And
On command.
on command. And
For a friend.
Yes. And it had a remote control. Did you ever see these where they have a remote control where it's
He
got
has one.
Oh, you do. So
Yes.
it's got like temperature control
Yes.
and it's got like a joystick where you can aim it.
Yes.
Yeah. So mine is just cold water. It just blasts it straight up.
So a lot of people will call that a garden hose.
Yes,
Wait,
right.
and that's how you got
Hemorrhoids?
hemorrhoids?
Yeah, because I think the one thing it has is pressure, and I turned the dial up too high, and it blasted so loud I screamed, and I feel like that's when the hemorrhoids started.
No.
No?
Didn't.
All right.
No. Have you seen a doctor?
Do you want to see the hemorrhoid?
No.
I saw the doctor, and he said we didn't get into the origins, but he said you don't want surgery. He said it's the worst surgery you can get.
No, you know what you do? Take a rubber band and tie a rubber band, and every day take it a little bit more, and then slowly it'll squeeze the end, it'll squeeze it off, and it'll fall out.
No kidding.
Yeah, do it like a ponytail.
Isn't that? Didn't Leslie Jones talk about that with hers?
Leslie Jones has one too.
I had a bunch. Had a
She has
bunch.
she has
She had a lot.
lot. Yeah, you and Leslie Jones have so much.
So
in
much.
common. Do you know Leslie?
Very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Leslie Jones has hemorrhoids. He has hemorrhoids.
Are they contagious?
No. Only
What kind
if
of
you rub
positions
your.
do you think we're working here?
Well, even if you rub your finger on it and then put it into a vagina.
Yeah. Right.
Do you tell? No, I'm not going to go there. All right.
Come on.
No, like. So you went to the doctor and.
No, I didn't go to the doctor for the hemorrhoid. It wasn't that bad. I was there for a checkup, and he came to the point where he put the rubber glove on, and he did the prostate exam, and he said, "Oh, you've got a hemorrhoid."
Well, you didn't even know.
No, I knew I had it, but I wasn't going to bring it up. It wasn't so bad that I was like telling the doctor. I just feel like, people get hemorrhoids. And so he put his finger in, but it was a little bit like, it was like there was a doorman at the bar. There was somebody standing guard on my anus. That was the hemorrhoid.
Do you name it?
Let's name it.
Me? You want me to?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I feel
Wait, don't say.
I feel like I can't name it if I don't know.
Anne, short for anus.
Like, it just makes me think of Anne Frank.
Oh, right. That's
like
not the
trapped
attic.
in a
That's
small
more like-
little space.
Yeah, this is more like the basement, not the attic.
Yeah.
Right, but it is. That's what you should call it, though.
Yeah.
In memoriam.
Yep. Anne.
I've got an Anne Frank in my ass. Right? And then I've got an Anne Frank in my ass. And your middle finger with the ointment is like a Nazi.
Oh.
I see you. I know where you're hiding. I am coming to get you with a ambusol.
And every day I'll keep a diary. I'll be like,
yes.
he took
Diarrhea. Keep a diarrhea.
There it is.
Anne Frank's diarrhea.
And I bet you gas
the
her.
diarrhea of Anne Frank.
I bet you he gasses her.
What?
I bet you he gasses her.
Gas.
This is getting dark. I can't believe your daughter just out-darked you.
She did.
Wow.
Wow. Craig Fitzsimmons.
Am I going to get in trouble?
I don't know, but you're talking about the Assicost. We must never forget.
And I go to the doctor on June 6th. I call it D-Day, but it's A-Day. That's when they rescue me.
Don't.
Just to get this off, do you like arts and crafts?
Love arts and crafts.
Do you like fish?
Yeah.
Do you like beach towels?
Yep.
Show them.
If you've been fishing for a craft idea, I want you to come along because I have the perfect catch. I'm going to take this fish and actually make these prints that you see on these towels over here.
Oh, I've seen that.
Are they fun?
No
And then if
way.
you wanted to have a perfect fish, you just go to the store and buy one. You put the paints on it, make your print. You then can clean the fish off and take it out on the grill. So you've got to fish to go along with your
Look
beach
at those
towels by
bangs.
the pool or out on the beach. Okay, we'll come back over this side with some more. Kind of mix that in so they mix together. That makes it a lot more fun.
It's a lot more fun. You can't get more
I
fun.
want the fish's head to be here, so
Watch.
we'll put that right in the middle.
You're making beach towels.
Just lay that
fish
down,
prints.
and then you begin pressing that. Well, I guess the time has come to open up and see how we're doing.
Whoa.
Oh, it's
Turned out just
perfect.
great. You can see the eyes. There we go.
Wow.
You're
Yeah.
all set with a beach towel. Go ahead and wash this off. Take it out and put it on the grill. And I'll tell you, you've got a wonderful project that is really unique. And by the way, you can also put this on a T-shirt. Have fun with
Have
your
fun.
fish.
By the way.
So we've learned something. Go to you're touring with a full new hour. So go to CraigFitzsimmons.com. Craig.
Did he just say Craig again?
I did by
Yeah.
accident. Craig. Craig.
He said Craig McSimmons.
Craig McSimmons.
That's racist. That's more racist than me misidentifying your band leader.
Not really. No.
9 times? I did 9 wrong guesses.
What are you talking about? 9.
I guessed he was Mexican. I guessed he was.
No, I was saying
Australian.
9 because I was still doing a German accent.
Oh, 9.
Yes, I was
9.
still in Anne Frank's, the
Right.
diarrhea of Anne Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, where do they go to find out your dates?
Fitzdog.com.
Fitzdog.com.
Yeah, and then my podcast is Fitzdog Radio,
Which is
and Sunday
great.
Papers. Thank you.
Two podcasts.
Yeah,
Right?
and then and then I'm coming to all kinds of cities. I just booked up like the whole through the spring because this special. All of a sudden, the club started calling my agent,
See?
like booked everything up.
Yes. So, and it's called You Know Me, right?
You know me.
You Know Me. Apparently, I don't.
Well-
I keep saying your name wrong. but that's okay. And then I know you play guitar, and you're a big Hendrix fan, right?
Love Hendrix.
You love Hendrix, right?
Yeah.
So we wanted to do something special for you. So first of all, I'm gonna ask people to subscribe and to become members. How do they do that? That's I get more
First of all, it's not possible on the app. You can't do it on mobile. So you have to go on your computer and log on to our YouTube channel on Howie Mandel Does Stuff, and you can become a member there.
Oh.
And subscribe. Yeah, we do real special
subscribe.
stuff for the members.
No, what you do online is not only are you prolific, but you genuinely look like you're having fun when you do stuff online.
Well, what are you gonna do with this many cameras and all this lighting?
I know.
Not in
you
real
gotta
life.
have
He's
fun.
miserable.
What are you gonna say?
Oh God.
Alex?
No, I was just going to say, so that members know it's a new feature. They can now watch the podcast a whole night early before anyone else gets to see it.
We have also been going on, and I make sure to read. We read all comments. I try my best to read all comments, but the members, we try to respond to every
I do
single
some
comment
lives,
for the
and we
members.
respond, and then I take them backstage at AGT, and we do special things. Anyway, you were great. I love you.
Wow. I love you too.
I really
Thank
do.
you so much.
And there's a special treat for you. That's Sonny, the I think the Mexican you saw in the audience. Sonny and the Black Pack are going to play you a special outro because we know that you love this.
Yes.
You'll come watch him.
Thank you.
Play it, Sonny.
Now she's walking through the clouds with a circus mind that's running wild. Butterflies and zebras and moonbeams and fairy tales. All she ever thinks about is riding. When I'm sad, she comes to me with 1,000 smiles. She gives to me free. It's alright, oh, she says. Take anything you want from me. Anything, fly little way, you.
So great.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you very much,
Nice
man.
playing, brother.
Thank you so much.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that.
No problem. No problem.
What an original version of that song.
Thank you. We appreciate that very much.